while we're getting started, I'll just tell you guys that we are going to record the meeting. Just obviously because it's our first one and we want to see how we're doing and what we need to, like, for our review later on and stuff. So if anybody as well doesn't get on the call, doesn't get on the meeting, we'll be able to share it later on as well.
That's a good idea.
Shit. Remember, your mics are on.
Hey, this is what we need.
Please do not swear. We are very loud.
Well, it sounded as though somebody wanted to go to the toilet.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so slow down. So I think if we make a start and then as more people arrive, Paul, can you let them in if anybody else comes along?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay, guys. So just to help with noise quality and everything, I'm just going to mute you all. Okay. So any last requests or emergencies before I do this? No? Cool.
No.
Joe, we can't.
Sorry. Can't hear you. Joe's no, Joe's has been playing up, so she's just
Muted herself.
she's just muted herself.
I've just muted myself on the phone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can, thank you.
Okay, phew. I'm on 2 devices, so the technology, it worked this afternoon when I did a practice run with Paul in a chat, and then very same device, very same setting and everything, and it's not worked this evening. Typical. Okay, so we are at 40 participants, which is fantastic. So I just want to say thank you all very much for joining me and the rest of the association this evening. As I say, it's our first one, so bear with us, we're learning. I know lots of us are every day going on Zoom meetings and taking part in stuff, but yeah, when you're actually on the other side of things, it's a bit different. So bear with us, and yeah, we'll get there by December. So the reason for tonight's meeting, we thought, was because obviously with everything that's going on at the moment, we've got so many new members that have joined the association, and it's been so long now since we've seen each other and checked in on each other, like in person and everything, that we thought it was about time that we had a catch up, just to introduce the committees and the regions, and and let you guys know what was happening. So what I'm going to do first of all is introduce Lorraine, who I'm sure a lot of you already know anyway, but yeah, so Lorraine's just going to have a few words with you just now.
Good evening, everybody. And as Joe said, thank you for joining our first official Zoom Housekeeping Association meeting. We really appreciate that, especially as I'm sure all of you are on Zoom calls and different types of calls. We've got a variety now throughout your day. Life has definitely changed for all of us over the last 4 or 5 months. We've gone from having very interactive social meetings to now just being on an iPad, which is very strange. But we're adapting, and the Housekeeping Association has adapted really well, I think. We've struggled in regards of, because it happens, the pandemic happened so quickly, and hotels closed so quickly. We found that a lot of our housekeepers obviously were furloughed, and that meant that we didn't have their personal details. So we've struggled slightly to get access to all of our members, and that now that hotels are back and opening, we're starting to get our members back and being able to log in with us, which is really great. So if you haven't updated your personal email, let me ask you to do that now on your website. That would be great. What's the association been doing for the last 4 months? Apart from our normal running lives and our normal day jobs, we've also produced an amazing toolkit for any housekeeper that is reopening their establishment, whether that be a hotel, a bed and breakfast, a hospital. It was a basic toolkit that we worked with a panel to put this toolkit together to help our housekeepers. And that has been such a success. Not only has it got us members, it's also a really good feeling to know that we've been able to help people through the pandemic. So I'm really, really pleased with that. And thanks to everyone that helped form part of that working group. And we could have gone on and on and on with that checklist, but we called we sort of drew a line under it. But I'm really proud and pleased at how the checklist has been. So if we've done nothing other than the checklist, I have to say that that's a massive tick. And so anyone that's used the toolkit can talk to us later tonight. We're going to talk to you tonight about each of the regions. So all the regions are with us this evening. We're going to talk about what do the next 4 to 5 months mean, taking into account the government guidelines. What do you want? Do you want another Zoom meeting? Are you happy just with us posting things on our website and emailing you? But we really want to reach out to you. Our suppliers are asking to do Zoom meetings to talk about their products. Is that what you want? So really tonight's about you. It's not about any of us. We're here for you. And please write all your messages in. Both Joe and Paul are there to answer those questions. We might not be able to get back to everyone's questions this evening, but we will answer you at some stage. So over to our next chair, which is, I don't know, Joe.
So what I've got at the moment is I've got 2 polls that we're going to do just to show you guys how diverse and how widely spread our membership is. So you should be getting a box. No.
We should be, but hold on, we're going to get the box. Fingers crossed, everybody.
Oh dear.
That's interesting. So please feel free to type in any questions you might have whilst we're waiting very patiently for Joe to find out our poll. It'd be really useful to us to have questions that we can then ferry around and we can answer for you if anyone's got any questions. If they've got any great suggestions, if they've been having their teams and they've worked out ways that you communicate without having to be in close proximity, any ideas would be really grateful. So please start typing to get this to get us thinking. Poor Joe. No. Okay, let's move on. Don't worry. We can't hear you now, Joe. It's really gone.
Oh dear.
Joe, you've gone. Your sound's gone. Sorry, Joe.
Got me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, in the chat, you can put your answers for me on these questions.
Yes. Okay.
So first of all, what type of establishment do you represent? Are you a small hotel? Are you a large hotel?
Yes.
Are you a bed and breakfast, service apartment, holiday park, and or are you an associate?
So we're just replying to you in our inbox, yeah?
Yeah, just go on
Lovely.
the chat.
That's good, thank you.
So that's small hotel, large hotel, bed and breakfast, holiday park, serviced apartments, or are you an associate member?
That's lovely. Great, we're getting loads of messages through, thank you. Lots of hotels are joining us, that's good. Lots of associates as well, which is lovely to see everybody.
Sorry,
Well,
a club, large hotel, cool. And then the next one is just to show the breadth of where we are across the UK or out of the UK. We've had some new members join. So are you in London and South East region? Are you in Manchester and North West?
Oh, they've come up, Joe.
Yeah, we can see them now.
How?
Don't know how, but they're there. It's good.
I can't see it, so. Lovely, thanks, Joe.
Midlands and South West, Yorkshire and North East, or Scotland? Or are you
Lovely.
out of the UK?
Thank you.
Oh look, you can see my ceiling.
I can see.
Really.
Jeez.
I like the poll, Joe. That's really good. Thank you.
Okay, so that was just to show like everybody that we are like across the UK. We've got 2 different governments. We've got 2 different sets of guidelines that we're following. 3 if there's anybody here from Wales. So yeah, it gets very complicated when you're working in a national company who, you know, you have to fit in with which, you know, guidelines have to be changed. Places can open before others across the borders, you know, so it's very different and we need to recognise that, and hopefully all of our companies are recognising that, and they're recognising the guidelines for face masks, they're recognising, you know, everything that's gone across the board, so and they've supported their teams wherever they are. Okay, so with the regions, so that I've just called out, we've got on tonight, so we've got representatives of all the regions committees. So we've got Liana from London and South East.
Hi.
Hello.
We've got Nicole from Manchester and North West.
Hi.
Hi.
We've got Delia and Angela from Midlands and South West. And
Hey.
we have Liz Smith-Mills from Yorkshire and North East.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
And myself, I'm the Scottish chair as well.
Woo.
So, I just want, before we start opening the floor up and asking lots of questions from each other and trying to gain some more information and discussion going on, I've got a few questions that we're going to put to the chairs and that, and then anybody can feel free to go on the chat and answer the questions from your point of view as well. Okay, so guys, if you could tell the February version of yourself one thing on how to prepare yourself for what is about to happen, what would that be? Apart from stockpiling hand gel,
Exactly.
And
toilet rolls.
Stockpiling toilet rolls would definitely be something I would have done.
Buying shares in medical face masks.
Or plastic company would have been what I should have done.
Oh, perspex. God, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perspex. Yes. Or floor signage. If I had the footsteps, I can remember being with Mark Gleed at Ascot Racecourse talking about floor signage. If only I'd known that 3 weeks later we'd be in lockdown. Yeah.
Anybody else? So we have clear and consistent communications, like verbal, electronic and written to all involved. Okay. Okay, so what else? What would you have told yourself if you knew what was going to happen? If you'd had some pre-warning of this all?
It's quite a tough question, Jane.
It is.
It's a really tough
what would you
question.
do?
What would you have done?
If I'd have known, I
Go on
would have
then.
got all of my bed stripped. I would have just, I'd have got all of my bed stripped. I would have done a stock take of, like, a really up-to-date stock take of what I had actually in the building, like chemicals and that wise. So then I wasn't sat at home going, how much antibacterial cleaner did I have? You know, I was just...
I did that, Joe. You see, we did that. However, I'm still sat at home thinking, all the people that were living in, how much stuff I got left at the end by the time they finished ransacking all the cupboards and everything else. I think it's one of those that once stuff like that isn't, you can't really prep for it, can you? It's just a case of you just have to go into almost like emergency procedures.
Yeah. So maybe looking at our contingency plans.
That's good, yeah, business continuity.
This was such a one-off, we thought, but now, who knows, you know, like this, I mean, alien invasion or anything could happen after this now. So, you know, your business contingency plans, yeah, we've looked at and, yeah, planning. What do we have here? Kay says not to panic. Kay, you stayed open all the way through. You had key workers in. Nan says proper procedures to close down, dropped rooms, stock takes. Emily says be patient and learn about customer needs when they are stressed. How to keep calm and keep all customers with a tissue. So, Lynn says disappear to a desert island. Run away.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, next one. So, what have you found to be the most beneficial? Sorry, I can't speak. What is the most beneficial piece of work you have completed during lockdown, or when you've first gone back into your properties, which have helped you now with reopening?
Can I answer that one?
Oh, yeah.
Go on then. No, go Angela.
Well, it was one thing that was mentioned to me, communicating with a wide range of people to gain knowledge and understanding.
With communication. Okay.
Well, the best thing for me that's come out of it is actually we've created a clear desk policy. So it means all of the clutter, people haven't got their family photos or their vases of flowers on the desks. All the desks are beautiful and clear. So it makes a housekeeper's dream. So that's been amazing. That's been my priority.
If anybody's wanting to be unmuted, guys, just put your hands up, yeah, because I know I've got some of you still on unmute, but if you do want to speak, please just raise your hand, okay? On the if you click on the more, it's got your moving hand, okay? Or I could just go for it and we unmute everybody, see what it's...
Try it, and then if not, you can close us all down. I think another thing, Joe, about the most beneficial thing is actually bringing our teams together and looking at how people have gelled and have worked together. I think that's been a real benefit. Our teams that I've worked with when we've all continued working have been amazing. They're really just doing jobs that they've never been asked to do. So I'm really proud of saying that I'm a housekeeper, which has been something that's been really good for me.
Yeah, I think, it goes on to the next question, but people actually realising and seeing what is involved in housekeeping and their perceptions changing of housekeeping. So yeah, what does everybody feel, or how do you feel your line managers and colleagues' perceptions have changed of housekeeping during this period? You can all unmute yourselves now. I've changed the setting.
I would say for us, I mean, I'm still furloughed, and the hotel opened back up on July the 4th. To begin with, I think they've done the company's done new SOPs, new risk assessments and things like that. But it's quite difficult for me because I'm seeing it through other people's eyes at the moment. I'm not back, my deputy's back. So it's quite challenging because she'll be on the phone on a daily basis. what worries me now is that we're in this whole thing where some people think it's not as dangerous as the government are saying. Some people think it is. And I think people are starting to sort of lax. And I think that's happening in companies as well. And that's what worries me. We've gone from leaving rooms for 72 hours to changing them straight away now. And that's less than 2 weeks. And that does worry me. I just think there's a little bit of complacency going on at the moment. But that's just from sort of like from my side of it, what I see when my deputy's ringing me sort of daily.
Anybody else?
Since we've been opened, the theory was to start with we would leave rooms 72 hours, but that didn't work out because we were very quickly full. I managed to persuade my general manager to buy me a fogging machine, which has made a difference. It's saving so much time. The room's done in 5 minutes, it's sanitized, and then we're just going in to do a normal clean in there. It's well worth the money if anybody wants to consider getting a fogging machine. From my point of view, they're well worth the money.
That's good to know.
Time in wages and
is there a sort of cut with the company that sold it to you? Do they have something that says this is now a safe room?
Yes. Well, I've had door hangers made up. One side saying that the room is sanitized, ready for the guest, and the other side saying that the room is resting because it's being fogged, because you have to leave it for about 15 minutes after it's been fogged before you can go in there. So I've had door hangers made up to put on the doors.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Hi, you okay if I talk?
Yeah.
There's one thing that I seem to have noticed, that housekeeping has gone much further up the ladder since this pandemic, realizing what housekeeping must do to protect everyone. You know, a lot of the time housekeeping is just pushed to the bottom, which I think is totally wrong.
I think the rest of the hotel workers now realise that housekeeping is the priority. Housekeeping are the as you say, top of the ladder now.
Lynn, you can unmute yourself.
Tried to, it wouldn't let me. I'm back on now. It was just a really good thought for you guys, because I've got other clients, not necessarily in housekeeping, who are working in Team A and Team B, because if anybody actually in the team gets COVID, then they're all isolating. So they're working in 2 completely separate teams, either days about or weeks about, so that people, if anybody does catch it in one team, you're not completely without your staff. So it's worth thinking about if anybody in the team actually does pick up a positive reaction, that you could end up with your whole team being on lockdown. So it's just a thought, if you can actually maybe work your team days about or even weeks about in some way, it will protect you from that happening. So it's just worth it in terms of, particularly if we're getting local spikes, you may well find that people are in contact somewhere and end up not being able to come to work. And you could end up in a real struggle then with no staff.
Yeah.
But I say it's working in mainly in daily office cleaning and office blocks that I'm working with, but the same would apply if you can isolate half your team at a time in some way, or work them in isolation from each other, you can protect yourself from having no staff. Otherwise, it could all be in lockdown on one person's contact. It's just a thought.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Sorry. The door's just closed on its own behind me. I'm telling you. Okay, so we've also got comments. Yeah, like Gosha has commented that they had 1 hour to clean rooms, but now, it's disappeared. But now the time has been decreased to get the rooms turned around. Yeah, that
is what's going to happen, I'm sure. As much as we want to say in hotels, I'm sure as long as everyone wants to have extended time, there's the feasibility of it all, isn't there? And the expense with the general managers are going to be looking at their bottom lines.
Yeah,
that's much better than the the 15 minutes that I can remember being told by an outsourcer for a stayover room, which to me was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that was before Christmas.
We luckily are still at 55 minutes per room at the moment. How long that will stay is, but they are pushing. We were supposed to stay at 60% occupancy, and they're pushing through a higher occupancy than that at the moment. I think it'll just, like Lorraine said, it costs, doesn't it, to be at 55 minutes per room,
yeah.
versus our normal 30 minutes a room. So,
yeah.
I mean, fogging machines are a great idea. So.
Actually, it depends on the company you get them from, though, because that was one thing that came up at the BCC meeting, the British Cleaning Council, that you do have people out there that are just getting these machines and they're not putting any chemical solution in, and they're just going around and they're charging, and they're of no use at all.
But you still need to clean before you fog.
That's right.
So it doesn't reduce the cleaning time. It might help you in the long term, but it doesn't reduce your cleaning, because you've still got to clean before you fog. Or static spray.
We were told to fog first, because then it's protecting the room attendant, and then clean after the fog. Because it's about protecting the room attendant, and the fog kills. That's what we were told anyway.
Yeah, that's the same way that I do it. We strip the room first and then fog it and then clean it afterwards.
They're all useful ideas. I think everyone's got a different process. I mean, it's all good so long as you're thinking about your staff and your teams. They're all, you know, there's no one thing doesn't fit everybody. So we've all got to look at our own businesses, got to look at our own budgets, what our own general managers, what our own brand standards are. So they're all amazing ideas, for definite. They're really good. But we do have to make sure we protect us and our staff. It's critical to make sure that we do that. Delia.
Can I just come in there just to say that crucially there are two stages to this. One is cleaning and one is disinfecting. You cannot disinfect before you clean. That's an absolutely golden rule. What we've got a bit of a problem with is that there is a great misunderstanding about the difference between fogging, fumigating, spraying, bug bombing, and we've got pop-up people. Suddenly there were butchers last week. Now this week they're fully fledged have VAC will travel people, and they are, as Angela said, offering services that are not always verified. The credentials need to be investigated thoroughly. We need to know what the log rate is on the kill, and we need to ensure that, is it wet fogging? Is it dry fogging? Because I've seen a lot of wet fogging going on, which is getting into the electrics, which is killing all the plants, and which is poisoning the atmosphere. So it is absolutely crucial, as you just mentioned there, Lorraine, that we investigate what's available, check the credentials of the supplier, and ensure that we are satisfied that we're protecting the welfare of not only the people using our rooms, but the people cleaning our rooms. Exactly. 2 stages, cleaning and disinfecting.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
thank you, Delia.
so, thank you, Delia. Delia, everybody is, Delia, I think you should explain your role, because you bring to the table a lot of experience throughout this event.
I just think that cleaning is my bag, and therefore I've spent most of my life raising the profile of people who clean for a living through education and training. But during this pandemic, I have had an absolute eye-opener, because I've seen people stepping up to the plate that never saw themselves in a cleaning capacity, and now they actually are saying, actually, I quite fancy this as a bit of a career, because furloughed people who have started to clean during this pandemic have realised how valuable, how important and how crucial and fundamental the role of cleaning is. I think that understanding the classification of soil and the classification of cleaning agents, processes and techniques is absolutely crucial. But for a long time, we have heard the expression only cleaning. And now, with the government getting involved, we are seeing the invisible become visible. And who knows, we might see our cleaning teams and our housekeepers on the roll of honours. But if I may just add into the equation here, when our cleaning teams return to work now and our housekeepers, they're going to have to deal with a whole new ball game, stuff that they've never had to deal with before, because we are having a different set of circumstances to deal with. For example, people are coming back to work who have been off for quite some time, furloughed or otherwise, and they have developed behaviours while they've been off that they're now going to bring back to the workplace.
Yeah.
So our staff are going to have to encounter aggression, confrontation. There'll be sadly those people that have taken to the bottle while they've been off because of depression, because of uncertainty. They're going back to the workplace now thinking, is it clean? Will I catch anything? Is it still about? So we're going to be finding bottles in bins that we never expected to see. And the other thing we're going to see is those people that have taken to substance abuse. During this period in time, we have seen massive changes in behaviours, mental health, alcoholism, drug taking, aggression, bullying, and our staff are going to have to deal with that. So it isn't just about them cleaning in the rooms, it's about dealing with and well, how are we going to prepare them? What are we going to do to make sure they have the skill set?
Yeah, I think, thank you, Delia. I think towards the end of the call, maybe we can, that'll go up in the last poll that I've got for the meeting. That'll hopefully we can bring some of that into that, and hopefully we can. I think training and learning is definitely something that's going to have to be re-looked at for everybody who's working in hospitality.
And Jo, once we understand what everyone wants from these calls, maybe we could do some little breakout rooms, because maybe there's groups that want to understand what Delia said, which is really relevant. There may be some people that want to understand. So maybe on our next call, if is that what our members want, we break out so that we can all listen to what's relevant to us as well. Might be useful.
Yeah, I think going forward, because we wanted to keep this one as basic and straightforward. And as you can see, we've had technical issues tonight, you know, and I did a run through this afternoon and it worked. So it just shows you, but going forward, when we get more confident with being the facilitators and stuff, then yes, we will be able to bring in the breakout rooms, use of whiteboards and everything like that, so we can get, it's what we do need to know is what you guys want from the meetings, what you want, you know, what we can't show you things physically, but you know, what we can bring to the meetings and what we can, the information we can get onto you in an unbiased and fair way. You know, we can have people, we want to make sure, you know, that yes, we want associate members to be able to pass on information, but for definite, just like our physical meetings, these Zoom calls are not going to be hard sell meetings for people, you know, to come on and you know, it's not about like hard sell on these meetings. These are for the housekeepers to gain knowledge and for associate members to pass on information so that the housekeepers know where to look to find out what they're looking for as well. Okay, so
one of the things that Nicole mentioned about the amount of time for your room, if you've got GMs that are expecting you to disinfect as well as clean that room, your argument's going to be that you need to check your disinfectant dwell time to make sure you've got time for it to work. So they may well be, you may well be able to go back to the GMs with your argument for extended time, so your disinfectant time in the room is going to be effective. So if you're looking, whatever product you're using, check its time it's going to work and allow for that in your process. So you've actually got an argument to go back with, which they really can't then throw back at you, because it's what you have to do for the safety of both your staff and the next guest. So it might help to look at some of the data on that to give yourself a bit more leverage in terms of the time you're going to get per room. But just a thought.
Good. So let's open the floor up. Let's see what questions we have. Nobody has any questions?
Oh my goodness. I think Paul's happy to help you, Joe. He just needs you to release him from the poll or something, he says. Don't know what that means. Don't know. Okay.
I can see all the chat and nobody's asking questions.
No one's asking. Maybe everyone's signed off and just gone. Guys, can you start thinking? But everyone's zoomed out. Everyone's zoomed out. Obviously, we'll have no meetings. We'll have no business lunch. We'll have no barbecue. There's no summer ball. So that means quite a lot. That has massive impact on the association. So it really is useful, especially for the chairs of each of the regions, to know what do you want. We're all worried about it. We all want to give you something. So it would be really useful if you could give some feedback to Joe now. I'd really appreciate that. And I think you're going to reach out to the suppliers, Joe, aren't you?
Yeah, so we, going forward for the meetings, we'd like it that the layout for the meeting would be pretty similar to what our physical meetings are, where we do have a speaker or a presenter from the associates, and we have general, like catch up with everybody, pass on of information, and then we have a presenter or a speaker, and we allow them time to share their information and share their equipment knowledge, and with everybody on the call. And then we have a chance for questions to be asked to that presenter as well, and then we have catch up and help anybody that needs any assistance. So very much like our physical meetings. Unfortunately, we can't provide the buffet, and we can't provide the wine, so that's another reason why we've chosen 7 p.m. on an evening, because hopefully by now you should be at home or nearly home, and you can provide your own wine. I'm still at work as well. You can provide your own wine and buffet for tea, and you can have a better choice than Stella. Jim, good choice. Sophie's got a lot of wine.
Can I quickly add something?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. We've missed you so much. I can't tell you how much we've missed our meetings and seeing people and kisses on the cheeks and hugs and finding out the gossip, who's been doing what and where have you been. So that's one thing I think is the biggest thing that we've missed with you all, because we have been communicating. We might not have been communicating as much as we'd liked, but now we need your help back. Because as Lorraine and everybody else has said, we need that second email. So if you've got a personal email and you don't want to share it so that we use all our communication on it, but just for now, so that we can keep in touch with you, if you could email it through to myself or your chairs, excuse me, it's the vodka, it's going to help. Better. If you could just email that through so that we can get in touch with you. And the other thing we need to know is, what do you want from us now? We've got some WhatsApp groups, which have been very positive. Sorry, what was that?
It's just someone's background.
Oh, okay. We've got a few WhatsApp groups going, especially in London, which are very positively being used. Is that something that maybe you want to start? We can break them down into areas. We can maybe have smaller groups rather than larger groups. Are there things that you need from us? Are there things in your hotels that you think maybe we could share the information that we're not already sharing on our website? Because the website is the tool for us at the moment. We've been asking all, as I can see Kerry on the screen. Hi, Kerry. Kerry has been working very hard in the background, taking all the information in from our associates to get as much information without us promoting anybody, but just solely based on what's happening in the world at the moment, to get the information out to you so that you can make a decision what's best for you to use or not to use. So it's really a two-way thing. We need you to come back to us, email us, and we can start talking in that way, because until heaven knows when we'll ever be able to get back together to have a good drink and a catch up. I mean, it'd be fantastic if by December we can, then we can all put some money in the pot. and meet up somewhere and have a big hello with everybody, but who knows the way things are going at the moment. How many hotels, out of interest, have actually opened up? Is there any housekeepers currently back in a hotel working? I can see Prolet waving.
Yeah, me too.
So there's a few hotels that are up and running.
Yeah.
What is your experience at the moment of what's the one thing that you think this is a nightmare or this is great now? Could somebody answer that?
I think for me, the nightmare is we were too full too quick.
Really?
Yeah. We started off at 25% full. There's 35 rooms in the hotel. We started off at 25% for the first week, but now we're full. I've got one room that's empty, and that's put by for an isolation room. But I think we filled up too quick. We didn't have time to get into the proper routine before we were suddenly full. And we're like that now, right through till the middle of September.
So for the hotel, that's great, but not so much for you and the teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glenys, where are you? Where is your hotel?
In Dorset, Weymouth, Dorset.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What's everybody else's occupancy levels like, and like your turnaround of rooms?
I can see Prolet's got her hand up, but she needs to unmute herself. Prolet, unmute yourself.
Nolly, shush.
Is that Prolet speaking?
Yeah.
There's the doggy.
It's the dog, sorry.
All right, joking.
It's just
Prolet,
come
can you
in.
work out how to unmute yourself? I'm no good with these screens. So there's a little icon, isn't there, at the bottom?
Yeah.
A little microphone that says it's got green. Is yours
Far
red?
far left-hand corner.
She's there.
The house. Okay, done. We didn't close at all through the whole pandemic. I'm part from the collective group, which we are hybrid hotel and residential. So now on the hotel side, the weekends are really busy.
Prolet, sorry to interrupt you, but there's a lot of noise behind you. She's muted herself now.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So
And this is one of the
difficult. Very busy.
Yeah, but this is one of the difficult parts of holding a Zoom meeting as well. It's just trying to iron out all those things.
Yeah. Gosh,
we're all the guinea pigs tonight.
Okay.
Jill, can I just jump in for Yorkshire, please?
Yes, Liz.
Hi, just wanted to say a huge welcome from all of the committee. That's James, Sophie, Joanne and Lourdes at the Marriott. And welcome any new members. We feel that perhaps a regional group app would be a good idea. James has offered for anybody to email him to contact, and we're really happy to support anybody, whether new members or existing members. And we've already had a redundancy in the region with one of our members, but we've managed to relocate her to a newly refurbished hotel. So we just wanted to say that we're passionate about housekeeping as ever, and we just want to give a lot of support. And if there's anything we can do to help, you know, all the committee are looking forward to welcoming you next year for the summer ball at Alton Hall. But in the meantime, if there's anything at all, you know, we can help with, just please get in touch. And you know where to find us on the website. So I just want to say cheers to everybody. And whereas housekeeping was important, now it's vital to life. So
exactly. Thank you, Liz.
Housekeepers said.
Thanks, Liz.
I think that's useful as well. Sorry, I think it's useful as well if there is anybody in any of the regions that are being made redundant, please share that, because we can help. You know, and it's always good. You know, on the website, Kerry's going to start collating a list of people that are looking for jobs.
Sorry, fire alarm's going off.
Oh no!
Join the real world, everybody, eh?
You can write it, could you? Oh my goodness.
This is like one of our normal meetings. This is great fun.
Because she's the host, we can't.
Is Jo at work or at home?
She's at work. Please just keep an eye on the website, and then we will make sure that if you've lost your job, if you're being made redundant, if you've got any questions, if you're a new member, the website is the place first to go. It's really difficult to hear, isn't it? Oh dear, poor Jo.
Poor Jo.
I think
Can I just come in for a minute?
Yes, yes.
I wanted to say a wee while ago, I'm in the centre of Perth in Scotland, and we were actually busier through lockdown with our key workers than we are now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've only got like 25, 30 rooms on a night, and I've got 84 bedrooms.
Okay.
But seeing that, I have got one room off on each floor for my girls to change in, and that is their room. And they use that for the bathroom, to change, leave their PPE and whatsoever. We also have another room off for in case anybody does come down with COVID.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. And I'm using the ozone machine in muddy parts, but leaving them 24 hours before we go back in.
Okay.
Only because we can do that at the moment.
Exactly. And I wonder what the pressure that people will have once occupancies start to increase. Yeah. I don't know if housekeepers will have that luxury, but I suppose it's just...
I think we will.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's really helpful. And Shane, hopefully you'll get busier.
Hope so. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any stories that they'd like to share while we wait for Jo to come back? Our associate members, are our associate members happy to join our calls and then to share some of their information on their products? So we can probably do a limited time so they can share as well. That might be useful.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can see Jo running around. She's got her iPhone with her.
Yeah.
Good. She did have another poll to run. I think what we'll do though, unless anyone else has got anything else to say. Oh, Jo, you're back. Are you with us? You're muted.
Unmute.
Okay, so
lovely.
Guys, I'm sorry now, I can't get back on the computer.
That's fine.
To see you all, but I can see on the iPhone. So yeah, the final poll was to really find out where you guys wanted to go in the future with these calls and to get an idea of what topics you wanted to discuss. So the list that I put together was very much what, following on from what Delia said about well-being. Like, we've all done meetings before where we've had people come in and do massages and teach us mindfulness and stuff like that, but do we need to go further with that to help people's anxieties about returning to work? Do we want to concentrate completely on COVID for the moment and just look at COVID in general? Do we want to look at COVID?
Control with Joanne. Everything's fine. Just focus on your business.
Honestly, can't beat this. Thank you. Okay, so do we want to stick with cleaning technology related to COVID-19? Do we want to look at cleaning technology in general, as we used to before, like discussing new vacuum cleaners and anything that was coming onto the market that way? We could also be looking at how this has changed laundries and linen supplier procedures, what they have to now put into place to ensure us as the customers that we are buying safe products from them now. So yeah, we could have a look at that. Also on the recruitment side of things, you know, like we've said, we'll try and support people any way we can. And if we could bring in people from HR or recruitment agencies, you know, that can help us. A lot of us, you know, I've only been in this position for just over a year now, but I bet out there's people that haven't completed a CV in many years. So, and the whole recruitment process has changed, you know, in so many different ways throughout the years. So if we could bring in somebody from HR or that
That's
way,
good.
so
Yeah.
we can have a look at helping people that way, so they can get out there and look for work and we can support people. And the last thing was actually looking at the chemical side of things and what's, you know, what's happening there. How are our chemical suppliers having to change what they're providing to us, you know, and how are they going to have to how are they looking at things in the future and what they're going to have to look at, with the crystal ball that they have, you know, for seeing what could come next.
They're really good ideas, Jo. Maybe if we put those lists together and we could put some time slots in, then people can choose which ones they want and log in to those.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely. And then maybe we just have a general networking one as well, where people could just talk.
Yeah.
So then people can cherry pick. That might be a really good idea.
So
what's your next? What's
Sorry.
the next steps? What's the next steps now? What do you want all of us to do?
As well, if people can get back to me on the scotland@ukha.co.uk email. So that's scotland@ukha.co.uk, and just give me an idea of what you would like to talk to, ideas for speakers, if you have specific people in mind or companies, you know, that we can contact, or if you'd like to volunteer yourselves. And also then we were originally thinking of having split regional meetings where all the regions could join together, and London, because of your size, Leanna, that you could have your own. But if that's not what people are wanting and they want to join together throughout the meetings and then we do it that way, then yeah, we're really flexible. We've got the account now, so we can grow and learn more about this account, and we can do more things on this way. So yeah, just get in touch with me, and then with the working party we can pull some ideas together and we can move forward. The next date that we had in mind was the 26th of August for our next call. Hopefully by then people have managed to get some time off and, you know, regroup. And so yeah, but if it doesn't work, please just communicate with us and let us know, and we're flexible, you know. So yeah, that's it.
Lovely.
So Sophie's got her hands up.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if we do it on a regional basis, because Liz had a great idea for a speaker, and I think she's arranged it for the date we'd planned. Can we record that like tonight and then share that with everybody else?
Oh, that's a lovely idea, Sophie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't have to commit to logging on to Yorkshire and Scotland and all of that. Then you can just pick up the recordings as and when
your
own time.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea, because then we can fit, you know, like if we make recordings and presentations, then we can fit more than one present. It's fairer then, like sharing more presenter in one meeting, you know. It's definitely. Okay.
So we've got a lot of options there. We can have individual meetings, we can have group meetings, so we've got a lot of options to run through.
Okay. So that's, if anybody has any other questions, or we're coming up to our hour mark, so we've got 4 minutes to go.
Wow.
We've not done too badly, girls and boys.
Jo,
Filling
thank
the
you very
hour.
much. I'd like to just thank you and the working party for pulling it together. It's really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the Housekeeping Association and all the housekeepers out there, and our supporters, our suppliers, our associate members, we'll just have to pull through this as we are, and make the best of a bad job, and continue to meet in whatever form it is, whether it's by Zoom or until we can meet personally.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Let's do the Zoom wave. Bye.
Zoom wave.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh.